Amid the quiet reverence of Japan's sacred spaces, where temple roofs reach for the skies and lotus flowers bloom undisturbed on still ponds, a legend takes flight. This is a land where harmony is celebrated, and the natural world is a reflection of the divine. And then, in the distance, it is said, when the world reaches perfect balance, when peace reigns and virtue flourishes, a being of unparalleled beauty descends from the heavens. Its presence is rare, its significance profound. And then, in the distance, a shimmer of fiery reds, glimmering golds, and vibrant greens, a creature whose arrival is said to transform the world. This is the Ho-Oh, the mythical phoenix of Japan. For generations, humans have been telling stories, tales, and legends about creatures found all around the world. From the griffin to the chupacabra, and from the leviathan to the Chinese dragon. It's high time we set out an adventure to learn about them all. This is an expedition for the mythological. Welcome to Mytho Safari. Our story begins far from Japan, in the cradle of ancient Chinese lore, where it was known as the huang, a bird whose elegance and symbolism eclipsed all others. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to join our channel. And while you're at it, be sure to check out mythosafari.com, where you can grab some awesome merch like t-shirts and other cool products. Every purchase helps the channel grow and keeps us bringing more content your way. In those early texts, the huang is described not just as a creature of beauty, but as a celestial force, descending only when the world was at peace and its rulers virtuous. Its presence was said to transform the very air it touched, imbuing the land with balance and harmony. In the distant mountains of Kunlun, where the heavens were thought to meet the earth, the huang resided in a sacred grove of paulownia trees. Here, amidst an otherworldly landscape, the bird was said to sing a melody so pure that it calmed the winds and stilled the waters. Its body shimmered with 5 sacred colors: red, green, yellow, white, and black, each symbolizing one of the Confucian virtues: benevolence, righteousness, propriety, wisdom, and fidelity. Every feather seemed imbued with meaning, a visual harmony that mirrored the cosmic order it embodied. The huang's influence stretched beyond mythology into the political and spiritual life of China. It became a symbol of the mandate of heaven, appearing to signal the legitimacy of a ruler or the beginning of an era of peace. Its absence, on the other hand, was seen as an omen, a sign that the natural and moral balance of the world had been disrupted. For centuries, it remained a central figure in Chinese thought, its image carved into imperial thrones, embroidered onto royal garments, and depicted in vibrant paintings. And when the great tides of culture and religion carried Chinese ideas across the seas, the huang soared into Japan. Here, it found a new home, where it evolved into the Ho-Oh, a bird that carried the essence of the huang but resonated deeply with Japan's own spiritual landscape. In Japan, the Ho-Oh became intertwined with Shinto and Buddhism, embodying harmony with nature and the promise of renewal. Its feathers glistening with gold and flame-like hues symbolize the impermanence of beauty of life. In temples and sacred spaces, its images adorn the roofs and the altars. Though its journey began in the misty heights of China's mythical mountains, the Ho-Oh took on a life of its own in Japan. Here it became not just a herald of peace, but a guide to spiritual harmony, that lies at the heart of Japanese belief. Long ago, in a time when the world was believed to reflect the balance between the heavens and the earth, there was a village at the foot of a sacred mountain. This place, though humble, was a sanctuary of harmony, where the villagers lived in unity with the land. Their crops grew in abundance, the rivers flowed pure, and the ancient hearts were guided by an unwavering reverence for the spirits that watched over them. But this balance was not easily earned. It was said that the mountain itself protected, keeping strife and misfortune at bay. One spring, as the snow melted from the mountain's peak, a series of celestial signs began to appear. The skies above the village seemed brighter, and at night an otherworldly glow illuminated the mountaintop. The elders spoke of the Ho-Oh, the phoenix of divine harmony, said to descend only in times of great peace. The villagers whispered the tales of how this mythical bird had been seen centuries before, bringing blessings and renewal wherever its feathers touched. The days passed and the signs grew stronger. Birds sang melodies never heard before, and flowers bloomed in patterns so vibrant they almost seemed deliberate, as if nature itself was celebrating an arrival. Then, on the first morning of summer, as the first light of dawn painted the sky in hues of gold and crimson, the Ho-Oh appeared, descended from the heavens with wings that shimmered like fire. Its feathers, each masterpiece of color and light, reflected the sun's rays as though they were casting blessings upon the earth. Its cry is a melody, one that stirred the hearts of all who heard it, and the villagers, they gathered in awe of the Ho'o perched on the highest branch of a Paulonia tree, the sacred tree said to be its resting place. The bird's arrival brought immediate transformation. The air felt pure, the stream sparkled brighter, and the field seemed to ripple with renewed vitality. Its presence was not merely to awe, it carried a message. The elders approached the Ho'o with offerings of rice and incense, bowing deeply before its radiant form. They asked, "What must we do to honor this harmony?" The bird, though silent, seemed to answer. As it spread its wings, the wind carried a scent of renewal. The villagers understood this harmony was a gift, but also a responsibility. They vowed to uphold the balance, planting trees, tending the earth, and resolving disputes among themselves with care and with compassion. The Ho'o remained for 3 days, and the morning of the 4th day, as the sun rose, the bird took flight, its form becoming one with the light until it vanished into the heavens. In its wake, it left a single golden feather, which the villagers enshrined in the temple at the base of the mountain. Centuries later, during a time of discord and upheaval, the villagers noticed the golden feather had grown dull, its shine fading like a memory of a better time. They understood that this is a sign that the Ho'o's blessing had withdrawn, and they redoubled their efforts to restore balance. And when peace was finally restored, the feather regained its brilliance, and the legend of the Ho'o was renewed. The Paulonia tree, or kiri, holds a cherished place in Japanese mythology and tradition, often seen as a symbol of harmony, prosperity, and divine connection. This elegant tree, with its heart-shaped leaves and delicate violet blossoms, is famously associated with the Ho'o, the mythical phoenix. In Japanese tradition, the Paulonia tree is linked to auspiciousness and is often planted to celebrate the birth of a daughter. It is believed that the tree will grow alongside her, and when she marries, its wood will be used to craft items for her dowry, such as musical instruments like the koto. The Go-shichi no Kiri, historically used by the Tokugawa shogunate, remains a symbol of nobility and is now featured in government seals and emblems, underscoring the tree's cultural importance. One of the most iconic tributes to the Ho'o is found in the Byodo-in Temple in Uji, near Kyoto. Built in 1053 during the Heian period, this temple is renowned for its Phoenix Hall, a structure designed to resemble the Ho'o in flight. With its symmetrical wings and central body, the hall mirrors the bird's grace and celestial significance. The temple celebrates the Ho'o's legacy through seasonal festivals, particularly in the spring when the surrounding cherry blossoms bloom. During this festival, visitors gather to offer prayers for harmony and renewal. The Ho'o's golden statues perched on the hall's roof gleam in the sunlight, reminding all of the bird's role as a harbinger of peace. Traditional music and dances are performed at the temple to invoke the bird's legendary song, while offerings of incense and flowers connect the spiritual present with the mythical past. In smaller towns and regions, local fire festivals held in autumn incorporate phoenix imagery to symbolize renewal and the cyclical nature of life. Large bonfires are lit representing the flames of the mythical bird and its transformative energy. In other regions, parades showcase elaborate floats and costumes depicting Ho'o in all its glory. These all serve as living retellings of the myth, connecting participants and spectators to the spiritual legacy of the Ho'o in the modern day. Ho'o's design, introduced in the second generation of the Pokemon games, Pokemon Gold and Silver, Ho'o is a fiery, rainbow-colored legendary bird and is one of the most iconic Pokemon in its series. Its design and narrative significance draw heavily from the mythical Ho'o, the Japanese phoenix. In Pokemon Gold, Ho'o serves as a version mascot, prominently featured on the game's cover art. Players can encounter and attempt to catch Ho'o at the top of the Tin Tower, also known as the Bell Tower. To access this area, players must obtain the Rainbow Way, an item that symbolizes a connection to Ho'o and it's reminiscent of the mystical bird's association with rainbows. The narrative surrounding Ho'o in the games intertwines with the lore of the legendary beasts, Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. According to in-game mythology, these three Pokemon perished in a fire that consumed the Brass Tower. Ho'o, moved by compassion, resurrected them, granting them new forms and powers. This act of resurrection follows in suit to Ho'o's symbolic ties to renewal and life. At the heart of its legend lies the promise of transformation. Whether it is a world blessed by its presence or a people inspired to rebuild and renew, the Ho-Oh stories remind us that change is not only possible, but necessary. They challenge us to strive for a life of virtue, to seek peace in our actions, and to honor the cycles of creation. The Ho-Oh soars above as a bridge between the mortal and the divine, a symbol of what humanity can achieve when it lives in accordance with the principles of harmony and respect. The journey into the world of the Ho-Oh leaves us with more than just a story. It leaves us with a vision of what is possible when balance and beauty are embraced as a way of life. And we'll see you on the next safari. Goodbye.